All right, good morning, guys. It is another great, beautiful morning. Sun is out. The weather has kind of warmed up, unfortunately. We had nice cold weather like about a week ago. It was like down to, I want to say it was like down to 40 degrees. I think it was like 40 or 50 degrees. And then it just decided to go right back up again to freaking like 80s and 90s or whatever. But I'm sure it'll go back down again, hopefully really soon. And I'll be able to enjoy Thanksgiving and Christmas with some nice cold weather. Just doesn't feel the same when the weather's warm. It's like, why does it feel like summertime, or why does it feel like spring when it's, supposed to be fall and winter, right? Anyways, guys, I want to talk about Kirby Air Riders and why I think this is going to be, well, it's not really just an opinion. I think it's just a fact at this point that this is going to be the best game to own in 2025. Not just on Nintendo, but across all platforms. Kirby Air Riders is going to be the best game, period, when it comes to just, lots of content, having fun, replayability, things of that nature. I played the global test ride a few days now, and I think it was yesterday. Was it yesterday that was like the last day that it was online or whatever? Yeah, it was yesterday. And I played it for at least 2 or 3 hours. Had a blast. It was really fun. I played as like the Roach for the first time. I played as Gooey for the first time. Not sure who my favorite character is. I mean, Kirby definitely is one of them. And I would also say Starman is a really fun character. But man, I was kicking a lot of ass with the Roach. The Roach was a really fun character to play as. He was, I don't know, his speed is really good. His attacks, his special is really awesome. Him turning invisible, so you could just freaking destroy people. They don't see you coming and whatnot. So yeah, that was really fun. I had a lot of fun just doing the Kirby Air Ride race, but that city trial, yeah, definitely where it's at. But even just the Kirby Air Ride alone, the actual race, is really fun. I was hoping they were gonna have a top ride available yesterday or the day before. Unfortunately, they did not. There was no top ride available, so when it comes to the demo, we barely scratched the surface of what is in this game. Let me just remind you guys, there is a top ride mode, okay? There's the top ride mode. There's the road trip mode, which is also like kind of integrated with the story/adventure mode. But road trip mode is like a mode where, I mean, you're going on a road trip and you're fighting rivals on the way, you're doing different challenges, different modes. It looks super freaking fun. I cannot wait to try that mode. So you got Road Trip, Top Ride. We're going to have even more bosses and villains to fight against, not just Robo DDD, but you're going to have like other big villains and bosses to fight. Can't wait for that. Can't wait to see how many are going to be there. What else? Yeah, I mean, oh yeah, of course, then there's all the vehicle customizations and customizing your characters, all that cool stuff. That's going to be really awesome. Can't wait for that. You could customize your own driver ID. You can have your own driver ID and customize that as well. There's going to be a shit ton of content in this game, guys. And so far, it's looking like the way better game between that and Metroid Prime 4. Metroid Prime 4 is the only other game that people are really anticipating for this holiday. And so there's kind of like not a split, but there's a lot of Nintendo fans that are like, yeah, Kirby Air Riders is definitely the game to get. And then you got people who are just like, Metroid Prime 4, man, that is like the best game, and we haven't really seen much of it, but you got people who are really hot on that game. So Kirby Air Riders, though, so far it is the better choice so far. If you're looking for something that's going to be super fun to play, to enjoy with your friends, or to even enjoy by yourself, that's going to be the best game to play. It has everything. Look, if you're not a big fan of online multiplayer, that's fine. You can still enjoy the single player aspect of the game because you could just play with bots instead. You could play the story mode instead, road trip, whatever. You don't have to go online and play with other people. So it kind of gives you way more options. Now, I don't know if Metroid Prime 4 is going to have any multiplayer options. Hopefully it does. We have to wait until the launch of Kirby Air Riders to see if they start really putting in some heavy promotion behind Metroid Prime 4. So far, what we've seen of it is not too bad, but it's also nothing mind-blowing. You know, a lot of Metroid Prime fans are acting like what we've seen of it has been just absolutely amazing and out of this world, when it really isn't. So, Kirby Air Riders, for many reasons, this game is going to be the game we have to get. Now, is it going to be like the game of the year? I still want it to be Donkey Kong Bonanza, just because I grew up as the biggest Donkey Kong fan. I like Donkey Kong more than anybody else. He is my favorite Nintendo character, video game character in general. Donkey Kong is my favorite. And Donkey Kong Bonanza was the ultimate love letter to Donkey Kong fans, and it was also the most revolutionary 3D platformer of all time. There is no question about it. It is the best when it comes to 3D platforms, when it comes to 3D adventures. Donkey Kong Bonanza is the best game, and that is my game of the year. That being said, though, Kirby Air Riders is definitely a game that is deserving of a lot of rewards. I mean, just the amount of content, replayability, accessibility. I mean, you can completely customize that game to your liking. You could change the settings of the camera. You can there's a lot of things. Customizing your vehicles, things of that nature. You can change the voices, like the announcer voices or whatever. You can even change it to the female Japanese voice, which is the same lady who does the voice of Kirby in the anime. So that's really awesome. I might change it to that just because I want to hear Kirby doing all of the announcing and all that cool stuff, you know. But yeah, guys, I cannot wait for this freaking game. It's going to be the best game. Right now, guys, it is the most pre-ordered game on the Nintendo eShop. Kirby Air Riders is the #1 game on the eShop. A lot of people are pre-ordering that game. That's freaking awesome. You know, that's a lot of people are pre-ordering this game. I want to say it has a total of 26 gigabytes of storage total. That's a good amount. That's a pretty good amount, and that's also not too much or whatever if you just want to download this game for your Nintendo Switch 2. Don't forget the Nintendo Switch 2, what is it, like 256 gigabytes of storage? No, wait, I think it's more than that. Isn't it like 500 or so gigabytes of storage? I cannot remember what it was, but it's way more than what the Switch had. And so you could download a few big titles onto your Nintendo Switch 2 and be good. I'm almost considering doing both. Like, I'm going to pick up the game physically from GameStop. I already got it pre-ordered at GameStop. But man, I really almost want to download it digitally as well, just because I really like doing that. I love having my physical copies, but if it's like a really fun game, I just want to be able to access like immediately without having to, you know, swap out cartridges. Literally, I will purchase the game again digitally. I did that with Super Smash Bros. On my regular Nintendo Switch, because I ended up getting like a shit ton of extra storage for it. You know, I got like an SD card. And so I was like, you know what, let me just, you know, buy a few of the games I already have. Let me just buy them again, so I just have the game readily available. So I don't have to, you know, go and, you know, take it out of its case, put it in. I mean, it saves so much time. I mean, I know it's not that big of a deal, but if I'm just laying down comfortably and I'm playing video games and I want to play something else, I don't want to have to, like, you know, roll right out of bed, you know, go to all of my, you know, my rack of video games or whatever, and, you know, have to do all of that. I just rather, you know, change it right there and then on the fly, and I'm good to go. And I kind of encourage most people to do that, especially if you don't buy a lot of video games. If you don't spend your money on third-party slop, and you only buy like just the Nintendo games, then yeah, I mean, you can easily just buy the same game again digitally. I think that's one of the benefits of being able to buy the game again digitally, is just to have it right there and readily available. And so that's something I might do with this game. I might just get it again. Today, after working out, I plan on picking up Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. I plan on getting that game, and I'm going to GameStop because I got to get another game as a Christmas gift for somebody else. But I might pick up that game today and start playing it before we finally get Kirby Air Riders. Man, I am dying to get my hands on that game. That's going to be the best freaking game, guys. The amount of content, again, it's got everything for anybody, right? So far, all we see with Metroid Prime 4 is just a single player experience. And here's the thing, even if they don't have multiplayer, they should at the very least have like a lot of different modes for single player to make it almost feel like you're playing a multiplayer game, because there's so much to do, there's so many other modes, right? That's something they should definitely do. Are they going to do that? I don't know. And they should have multiplayer. I mean, it's unacceptable not to, in my opinion, especially for a first person game. They should definitely have that. So we will soon see, but right now Kirby Air Riders is definitely the must-have game. So if there's 3 games worth picking up right now for your Nintendo Switch, 2, it is Donkey Kong Bonanza, Kirby Air Riders, and Metroid Prime 4. But Donkey Kong Bonanza and Kirby Air Riders definitely being the best ones. So far, Mario Kart World's selling great. It's got a 94% attachment rate to the Nintendo Switch. So, you know, I don't really need to tell people, oh yeah, you should definitely go get that game, because, well, everybody is getting that game anyways. But you definitely need to get Kirby Air Riders. This is a game every Switch 2 owner needs to pick up and start playing. And even if you're one of these people who aren't, you know, you're not really big on, like, you know, fast-paced action games or whatever, just pick it up and play it, dude. There's going to be something there for you. And it's a game where, you know, the more you play, you will get better at it. You will figure out the controls very well. You will start to get the gist of it. And even when you're getting your ass kicked, even when you're losing, you're still having fun. The game is just, it just shoves so much carnage and chaos into it that it's hard not to actually have fun, even when you're just getting whooped, right? And you're gonna have some games where you're playing against some really hard folk who are just really good. They've mastered the controls very well. You're gonna be getting destroyed, but you'll still be having fun in the process. So this is a game I highly recommend, guys. Get Kirby Air Riders. You'd be a damn fool not to. You know, there's gonna be so much to it. As far as, like, you know, playing with your friends or whatever, paddock, you know, starting your own paddock or whatever, I'm sure if you start your own paddock, you can invite your online friends to it easily. As far as making friends, look, you easily make friends by, you know, you play with people in the game, you go to your profile afterwards on the main menu of the Switch 2, and then you just look for the players that you recently played against, and then just add them. That's how easy it is to, I mean, it's not that hard. It's not that hard to add friends on the Switch 2 at all. I mean, it's looking like it's pretty easy. So, it's going to be a great game to play, single player or multiplayer. I'm kind of just repeating myself at this point, but yeah, basically the big news is that the game right now is the most pre-ordered game on the eShop. And don't forget, this game, I think it got a total of, like, I think the first presentation got like 7 million views between Nintendo of America and Nintendo of Japan. The second presentation, I think, got close to that as well. Most of the views are in Japan. Like, Japanese gamers seem to be very high on this game. And it's looking like this game could probably have a very strong launch, especially in Japan. I think in Japan, man, I could see this game almost doing 2 million in Japan just on its, you know, its launch day or launch weekend. You know, Japan over there, you know, they're having a hard time getting Switch 2s apparently, because they've been selling out pretty fast over there. But, you know, they do get back in stock pretty soon, you know. So it's like one of those things where it's like, you know, you got to show up as soon as as soon as the retailers get stocked up with them, you got to show up immediately to purchase it. Otherwise, it might, you know, sell out, and then you got to wait, I don't know, a day or two until they get restocked again. But this game, Kirby Air Riders, I really hope it does very well. And I hope it ends up, you know, surpassing Mario Kart World. I think it deserves to pass Mario Kart World. Mario Kart World is fine. It's a really good game. It's a good Mario Kart game. Solid racing game. Man, this is the way better game, though. Kirby Air Riders is definitely a far better game. And, you know, it's technically not a racing game. It's like a vehicle combat game, basically. A vehicle fighting game is basically what Kirby Air Riders is. So, probably the most technical and correct term would be vehicle action game. Because, I mean, there's more than just fighting. There's also racing. There's also other challenges, like, you know, gourmet challenge where you eat as much food as possible. There's like air glide where you have to fly the longest distance, or you have to fly as, you know, higher than anybody else. There's a lot of cool shit to it, you know. There's so many different modes to play in. So yeah, I'm extremely high on this game, guys. I think this might be the biggest game of 2025. I think it's going to do very well in Japan, very well here in the States, maybe in the UK. I really hope it does. I hope it ends up being one of the best holiday games, and I hope it passes Mario Kart World. Do you guys think it'll pass Mario Kart World? Nintendo is promoting this game really heavily, guys. I keep seeing YouTube ads of this game. They keep promoting this game. I keep seeing ads for it on YouTube. So I'm like, all right, yeah, Nintendo is definitely putting this game out there. They definitely want this game to sell well. There's a lot of idiots that act like, you know, Nintendo, you know, didn't want this game, and that this game was made by Masahiro Sakurai because Masahiro Sakurai was passionate about making this game. That's complete bullshit. Masahiro Sakurai, yes, he did a great job with the game, and he definitely, you know, poured all of his heart and soul into making it, but it was Nintendo that requested him to make the damn game, okay? It was Nintendo and HAL Laboratories that said, hey, we want you to make this game. Masahiro Sakurai himself said, well, you know, we already have Mario Kart World. Do you really need this game? And they said, yes, we want it, make it anyways. And so he did. Masahiro Sakurai was never planning on making this game. He was more focused on just continuing to make content for Super Smash Brothers, and it was Nintendo that, you know, sent him a request. Nintendo and HAL Laboratories were like, hey, we want you to make this game. And you can tell that Nintendo is high on this game because they are just promoting the game so heavily. So much marketing going into this game right now. You had the 2 giant presentations, and now it's like I can't stop seeing ads for this game on YouTube. So yeah, Nintendo likes this game. They requested this game. They made a deal with Masahiro Sakurai like, hey, you can work on the next Super Smash Brothers game after you make this game first. We want you to make this game first. And that's what happened, you know? But you still got morons on the internet that are like, oh yeah, you know, Nintendo's only allowing him to make this game because, you know, he promised to make them Smash. That's complete bullshit. It's the other way around. Nintendo asked them to make this game first. So, but that's just your typical brain-dead internet losers, you know. They just gotta be fucking stupid, and they gotta just talk a bunch of shit and spread a bunch of misinformation. But this is a game Nintendo wanted to make. So guys, definitely check this game out, okay? If you were getting your ass kicked during the demo, just play it a few more hours and you will get better at it. You'll get the hang of it. You'll get so good that even if you're not like winning, you're still having fun. You're still having a good time. Once you get the control of it, you're gonna have a great time, guys. So let me know what you think in the comments below, guys. Do you think this is going to be the best game of 2025? I think it will be. What do you think the Metacritic score is gonna be? That's what I'm curious to see. Usually, I don't give a shit what IGN or any of these guys have to say because they're usually just full of shit, okay? They're usually not to be trusted. They all gave, you know, Ghost of Yotei, you know, great positive reviews, and there's many people, many gamers who are saying that that game just feels like DLC to the original Ghost of Tsushima game. So, you know, they're not to be trusted. You know, they always talk a bunch of shit. They always give really good games bad ratings all the time. They're full of shit. You can't trust them. But I am still curious to see if, you know, what they're going to say about this game, considering that it has so much content, so much replayability in it. I really want to see what they're going to give this game, what score they're going to give the game. What score do you think it's going to get, and how well do you think this game is going to sell in its first day, in its first week, in its lifetime? How many copies do you think this game will sell? I really hope it sells well. I think Nintendo is doing their best to market this game, so that way it sells like, shoot, maybe 20 million copies in like a year or two, and then, you know, just keep selling more and more as time goes on. I think that will happen. I think it could probably, you know, end up passing games like Pokemon and even Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I really hope it passes that game. Hope it does 80 to freaking 100 million copies. That's how awesome this game is, and that's how much it really deserves it. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna let y'all go from here. Y'all let me know what you think in the comments below, and that being said, hit like, subscribe, leave as many comments. Even if you don't like this channel, do it anyways. It's going to help the algorithm. With that being said, I'll see you guys later. Take care.